Right, another Friday, another job. Today we're working on a 2012 Cadillac Escalade. This has got a transmission cooler leak. You can see the puddle at the drip tray down there, or the splash guard. They just had the transmission cooler lines replaced. So looking up here, if it'll focus, there we go. You can see this top fitting right here. There's a little trickle that comes right down from it there. And so that's what's leaking and causing the transmission to be low. So we're gonna pull out the radiator on this and get that replaced. Stay tuned. Progress update on the Cadillac. Got mostly everything out. You can see we're right down to the radiator now. It's kind of easier to see where the leak was at that top cooler line and going down to the bottom. But we got the fans out, unplugged, and I pulled out the new radiator out of the box, and it was supposed to have both the oil coolers on this side, because there's a cooler there and cooler there, and the trans coolers over there, which is right there and there. And it turns out it doesn't have the trans cooler on the one side, so I think someone must have hot swapped it out or given me the wrong part. So headed back to the parts store to get the right radiator. Okay, made it back from the parts store, got the right radiator this time. So got the upper radiator hose off, goes on here. Let me try and bring you down here and show you how to take off these oil cooler lines. So you just pop off this black plastic cover, and then you get a little hook, and you come in here and come underneath it. You can see how it pops it down a little bit. Then it shot off. Make sure to catch it. And that's the little E retainer clip. And then once that's out, this just will wiggle and slide right out. And leak oil a little bit, but it just holds it right behind that little lip on the hose. So that's how you get the oil cooler lines off. Old radiators out. New radiators there. I always like to set everything out, look at them both left to right, make sure that they all match up. This is a little bit easier to kind of show you where the other one was leaking. But basically right where that fitting presses in is where it was leaking from. Once you get under pressure, it would weep right out of that seam right there. And unfortunately, there's nothing you can really do there. You just got to replace the radiator. So, new one comes with it. But there's the hole where the radiator used to be. So it should just be a quick pop in and purge it of coolant. Good to go. Shiny new radiator is in. Just 2 bolts on the top here and over there that hold it in. A little bit more about how I diagnosed this. So they just wanted to do a check before they went on a trip. I was just checking their fluids, checked the transmission, which is right back here, and it was low. So I wanted to look for where that was. I checked around the radiator, and over here I saw some wetness coming down there. At the bottom where that pan is, it's really hard to tell if that's oil or not. So what I did is I took a white paper towel and tried to wipe some of it up. You can see that turned red. So then we know that it's for sure transmission fluid at that point. And so I knew to go after the tranny line. So I'll show you real quick how to install the oil cooler lines. So this is the new radiator. They just have these little plugs that they use to keep it from dirt and debris getting in there. You can see it already has that new spring clip that I showed you how to take off. So all you have to do is take the old oil cooler line, and because it's kind of spring loaded in there, you just got to get it in there and wiggle until it snaps into place just like that. And then make sure she's locked and that's not going anywhere. And repeat procedure for the bottom. We'll just take this, slide it into that hole, and wiggle it until it clips. And that's it. Okay, so on the other side where the trans cooler lines go, I went to go put them in, and you can see it's threaded. It doesn't have the cool little clip. So they do come with this little adapter that comes with the new radiator. So all you have to do is thread it in there. You can see it's got some of that thread locker material on there. Once you thread that in, tighten it down, then it's just like the oil cooler lines. You just push them in there. The new clip's already there. It just pops into place. Same thing with the bottom one. And then the oil and the trans cooler lines are done. Everything's hooked up. You can see the little black clips that you slide over to keep those other clips from popping out once they snap into place. But we got the new trans cooler lines on, black clip down, top and bottom, secured them. All I got to do is put the air intake back on and fill it with coolant, top off the transmission and oil, and should be good. And she's a runner. Of course, you know, you want to go in, check for any leaks, oil leaks. You can hear the fans running, which is good. I filled the coolant to the fill cold. Double check the lines. I don't see any moisture or anything, so we're looking good there. But at this point, I'm just going to let the vehicle warm up until we get coolant temp up in the middle there. And make sure it purges with the thermostat and top off the rest of the fluids. She's all done. One last note, that little drip tray that was underneath that we saw coated in oil, I took it off, cleaned it all off for two reasons. Number one, if they take it back and then it drips from that, then immediately they're going to say, oh, you didn't fix it. So you want to make sure to clean that off. And that way also if something else leaks, you'll have a nice clean place to see what it is and where it's coming from. So that's it. We'll get it bolted back up, take it on drive, and she's done.